why you spend that much time watching it.
Yeah, Firefox is pretty much pulling all the CPU
Okay, cool.
and Firefox is also pulling almost all the GPU. All but
Yeah, I
like
imagine this to be the case. Sometimes Chrome gets sneaky. It will take up processes.
Yeah, I don't see Chrome. Yeah, because I just did the math and added all the shit, and unless Chrome's using up like 0.5%, and it's like, well, I don't care.
FYI, Edge does good, and I'm at jumping between 4 and 7.
Oh well, that's really good news.
4 and 7 CPU.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to get Juan a better computer door.
I think it's
That one has been kind of fucked from the beginning. Okie dokie.
Like my laptops, I get.
Alright, so what happened last time on Dragon Ball Z?
We had a fight, and we ended the fight, right? Or wait, no. The captain died.
Took a break from the fight.
And Shinna and I continued the fight, and then as soon as I had an opening, I took the captain and took him back to the temple so that Hoth could bring him back. And then we immediately, as soon as he was back up, we powered up, and then we went back through the portal, and we're in the place, and everything. Yeah, and everything was like normal, and then we took some more steps, and then we're back in the memory, and we have not yet linked up with Shin Na.
Oh no! Wait.
Is Shinnah banned right now?
I think so.
I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking
And
about.
Shinna,
I thought we found
while
him
we were
already.
doing the portal thing, was going to draw aggro, so he was off battling solo.
I killed like 10 dudes on my own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we're at the place where we portaled in, and I think I said I was going to try to do a spiritual synchronization to try to contact the Shin Na.
Yeah, I think you met up with him. Didn't you guys go to the substreets?
I think so because
I remember something like that.
yeah, and then we decided to go into the tunnels and switch over to shadow garb.
Okay, so when you went into the substreets, what was your answer to the passcode?
8675309.
No.
Oh, wait.
Does everybody remember the pass phrase?
What was when did we get it?
I don't remember the passphrase.
Okay, the question that you have to answer is, will it blend?
Oh, well, that's easy. 5 or 9.
No.
The Vitamix says yes.
Okay. Do you have an iPhone to test it with?
I have a Vitamix,
That'll work.
and I can walk next door to my roommate's room. I'm not sure he's home, but I'm pretty sure I can grab his phone and use it.
That's not an iPhone.
Well, I mean, Android, iPhone. I mean, Android's probably a better structurally
You
built.
put a blender in a blender, will it blend?
If you put a blender in a Vitamix, it will absolutely blend.
No, that's not supposed to work.
If you put a Vitamix in a Vitamix and turn it on, the world will literally end.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, well, so you got to the alcove in the substreets. Basically, the summary is that the Shadow Adepts are winning the battle underground, and utilizing a lot of Shadow Phase. You came to a secluded area where there's a bunch of Shadow Adepts vitalizing you.
Right.
And going to that section basically ended up in you guys stepping out of the memory. So you are in the city yet again, where everything's normal and there's floating debris everywhere, and it's night, and there's the white light pulsating deeper in the city still. And that's where you recovered a bunch of Shadow Adept weapons that were in good condition.
Yep.
Right, and I grabbed two Reavers
And some armor.
and some armor. I grabbed one armor.
And then you got a Vitamix.
Hmm.
Okay.
Oh, so this is a Costco. So we're in a
Yes.
Costco. Okay.
It's a hyper Costco. Yeah, it's a Kirkland Vitamix.
Oh shit, I'm looking for free samples. I'm end capping free samples.
Yeah, but there's only a French wine sample, so no good.
Oh, well, in that case, I like that Costco.
Haram.
I like that Costco on fire. But I guess it's better that they're end capping French red wine instead of Bud Light
Oh no.
or Bush Light.
Busch
Corona.
Light.
You
That's
know,
pretty bad.
all those Anheuser-Busch flavors.
Okie dokie. So yeah, you can step back into the memory by disturbing the debris as you see fit. You are otherwise quite surrounded and entrapped by the debris.
Okay. So we've got a little sanctuary here, I guess.
That's correct.
We need to vitalize for anything? We already did, so we should be fresh.
Maybe. Oh wait, no. Never mind.
Anybody want to carry any spells?
Yes.
Carry a spell.
Spells aren't real.
How does
What am I going to carry? I'm going to carry the Gift of Haradin.
one carry a spell? Okay.
Hirdan.
I'll get my big boy ready.
Yeah, you might as well just carry that so you can just charge it full max right now. And then all you have to do is let it loose.
Oh really?
Alright.
Yeah, if we're out of combat right now, we can spend 4 turns, or 8 turns, or 25 turns, and you can charge up your spell, and then you can just hold if you have carry spell, of course.
Let me see. Do I?
I'm pretty sure you do.
Yes, I do. And I have double pulse.
This is correct.
Okay, I mean that's pretty awesome. You could double pulse a carried spell.
It's not supposed to happen.
Let me double check.
You guys go to your
If you're allowed to double pulse that spell.
Yeah, let me double
Did everybody's spell tab look normal?
Spell tab. Spell
Yeah.
package.
Okay.
Yeah, everything's normal to me.
Alright, never mind.
Is
I
the
guess it's whatever.
the spell package or
No, the spell tab on your character sheet.
oh spell tab. Yeah.
Yeah, normal.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
I am missing Father spell, so that's kind of weird. But
Well,
other,
it's banned. Everything's banned.
other than that,
Alright, so another thing is we're probably going to end a little early. We're going to try to end in, I think, about 2 hours. Let's see, so it's 3 right now. So yeah, so we're definitely calling it a little early today. So, but we'll try to get as much done as we can.
Alright.
Okie dokie. So you step back in the memory.
are you ready?
Let me
If you got a healing spell, you might want to carry that on you, Captain.
I have the regular transmute, but crap.
I know you got an alchemical healing spell that will heal like 50% life force, 50% spirit, so you should carry that.
Can I carry 2?
Yeah, you can carry 1 in each orifice.
Oh, okay. So,
And technically, you only have. We're playing with 2 orifices for now, right, Josh?
Yeah.
so yeah, I'll have transmute.
As long as you've got double cast, you can carry 2 spells.
Okay. I'm having trouble finding my documents real quick. I just wanted to see if I can actually double pulse transmute.
Avatar.
Dimensional.
No.
Transmute dimensional is double pulsable, yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. Alright.
And I know that your healing spell, your alchemical, heal life force, heal spiritual, that is counter spellable also. So you can use that as a counter.
Oh yeah, that's right. Ready.
Now, the fact that you have two separate spells being carried in two of your orifices, if you get into battle and you're like, oh, I want to cast a different spell than what I have, you either have to release that spell or let it dissipate, or you can spell shift it into something.
Yeah, if you have spell shift, you can convert the cost of whatever you spent on it into casting the other spell instead.
Okay.
But just so you know, if you got a healer and your dimensional thing, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, I want to cast rain. Well, you can take the mana from something else and put it into the rain, or you can cast the one you had and then cast rain. But yeah,
All right, I get you. I get you.
okay.
All right.
I'm going off with a carried healer and a carried healing spell and a carried beefcake.
Okie dokie. You step back in the memory. Once again, the substreets are refreshed. They're no longer as worn and destroyed. You can no longer see the surface from above from all of the holes of deterioration over the many cycles that have passed since. The huge amount of fluctuating mana signatures immediately inundates all of your senses, and your battle, awareness begins to ripen.
Oh.
And again, you're in the chamber with several shadow depths continuing to vitalize. You can hear them speaking about trying to gauge the situation of the condition of the battle from a logistical point of view. Many of them are now currently asking the whereabouts of some of the known shadow adept leaders, namely Striker and Genshade. From your accounting of the battle with your adept lore, you can confirm that both of these combatants were seen or sighted in the combat. However, the ultimate fate of Striker is unknown, as well as Strider, pardon me. Strider is unknown, and Genshade's fate is also unknown, but of course you yourselves have confirmed that he is still alive.
He made it.
Are we at normal or full power, guys?
That's your call.
We are at the power that we left the temple in, so we should be.
Because my combat sheet was at full, but I don't remember if...
We would have come through at normal power. So whatever your normal power would have been, I think is what I said we were going to come through at.
Okay, and we're gonna go at like our full normal power, like turn 6 or whatever it is.
I think I had a.
So we don't start off at like 1 again.
No, you can be starting up at whatever power you need to be.
Right, and so we went to turn 6. So just go immediately to turn 6. I think that's the calculation we made.
Yeah, and then press Vitalize to put your mana back at full.
Cool. Yeah. All right. It was like that. Perfect. Sorry to interrupt. Let's
Yeah, and then I had to move my spiritual. Yeah, I need to move my spiritual back to 75 and not 90 because I haven't cast that spell yet. All right. Yeah, so I'm looking at with. Yeah, my normal power. I'm looking at 3-4-6-4.
Yeah, that's what I am at. Too.
And then as soon as we encounter battle, I'll probably go immediately to full power, which will put me at 4-5-7-4.
Cool. Mine goes 4-5-7-5. Neat.
Well, I mean, you're just a better flyer than me, I guess.
I guess. Even though you got that cool little fly thing.
Get good, Scrub.
Wait, I got a cool little fly thing?
Yeah, where you can make other people gain a +1.
Oh, right, yeah.
Oh, fun.
It only costs my soul.
Oh, yeah.
But you can make things be on fire at the cost of your soul.
He likes to be on fire.
be a flamer.
Fuck yeah.
Okay, so
Alright.
we got that stuff going on. We've got the power where we want to go, and I guess we're gonna proceed. We saw the adepts doing and talking. We are in Shadow Adept garb, right?
This is
We said we were
correct.
doing that. Now, the armor that we found, is that the same armor that all the Shadow Adepts are wearing?
Not everybody's wearing it. In this particular room, only 2 are.
Oh, okay. I'd rather just go with like generic Shadow Adept garb then, and not the armor.
Yeah, because if
I like my armor better.
if we switch to armor, we would have to take off our cool, awesome armor that protects us.
Yeah, swap out modules or whatever. Yeah. So I'm just going with generic Shadow whatever.
Okay.
And so people are talking, and they're like, "Hey, where's so and so, and where's so and so? What are we gonna do? What should we? Whoa, how to da da da."
That's correct.
Should we join to see what the plans are, guys, or just observe?
Yeah, do we like walk by and say we move on the center, or, the central hold? They're holding the center. We need to push through and break their center.
Aha.
Since if we're winning the fight down here, the push should be from down here forward, while distracting on top. I guess should be the plan. But I don't know how to interact with these cats because, I don't know. What do you guys think? We could just walk right by them and just shout it up. Hey, how you going? We're going to the center.
Yeah, maybe we could just kind of announce, we're going to the center where they are. Anybody come with us or something? Be with us. Maybe that'll...
Or something like, the heart of the battle is in the heart of the city, not here. If our leaders are to be found, guaranteed they're going to be in the most wherever the fighting is most fierce. Which is probably closer to the center, unless the upper territory is losing ground, Shadow Adept wise.
Yeah, I mean, all of these questions are great to ask them. But yeah, we can postulate as long as you want, but you have first-hand sources right here.
Okay, let's start asking them those things. I defer to you, Captain. You do it. Okay, fellas, how goes the battle?
Hey guys, how goes the battle? And I'll give them an adept greeting. What leader did you say we're looking for?
I fear the worst, Captain, he says. I've not, let me check, actually. There has been no word from Strylock. Genshade's taking the field right now, routing out the rest of the intruders down below. He looks about. Fewer and fewer return from above. I feel like this may be one of the last safe holds we have. The upper area, says another one, interjecting, is clearly lost. We hold the square, says another.
We hold the square is what he said?
Yeah.
I assume that's the central square?
Yeah, that's going to be where the light is emanating from, geographically speaking.
Where is the fiercest combat?
If you wish to take to the fight to the enemy now, I will join you, says one adept standing up. Another one stands up as well. Our chances are mild, however.
And the fiercest fighting is at the, okay, what did you call it?
He's just calling it out in the streets, basically. The city is broken up into the streets, the sub-streets, the square, or the outskirts.
The square.
Yeah, the square is currently held, according to them.
By the shadows?
Right.
Really? So it's the standard adepts that are attacking the shadows in this city, and the shadow adept, this is their city?
Yeah, the shadow, and the city is called, What is it called? It's called Shayadil.
Shaidu.
And it's Shadow Heart. Yeah. Most of the city is basically being lost, basically what they're telling you. They only really hold the central square.
Where do you where do you think the leaders would be most likely, I say, to Kronos? In the square or on the
We'll be
outside?
trying to push towards the center.
Yeah, it seems to me that if we're losing, if we're losing the ground above, the last bastion to hold would be the square. So obviously our best, most fiercest warriors must be there, and we should go there and help them hold the line.
Great success.
Help them, Hodor.
What was the
Oh, no.
city called again?
Shayadi.
Okay. So we go out and say, yes, for Shayadi.
Hooray!
At first I thought you were going to say Asayadina, and I was like, well, you can't use that.
They're freaking idiots.
Well, you can't use that because Frank Herbert used it already.
Oh no.
It means friend of God.
It means freaking idiot.
Just saying. You need to practice your Arabic, brother.
Okay. Alright. So yeah, you can go back above, or you can... they mentioned Genshade being down here, currently. And of course you can ask about any of the other sightings of the clan leaders on either side.
Genshade. There's no Genshades down in the tunnel with us.
They mentioned Genshade being down here trying to rat out any of the additional intruders trying to encircle the substreets.
Yeah, or get us from behind or something.
Right.
Vinchay is a general, I'm sure.
Right.
Is he?
Yeah.
Would he be the general or just a general?
The Shadow Adept leader would be Strider, followed by Strylock and Stringer.
That's where Stringer is.
We've not seen him. Strider would know, though. They say looking at one another.
Where is he? In the capital?
Is in the square, last I heard.
Right.
Do you think he'll take the fight to Kratos? He says.
Do a lore check, a Warcraft to see if I know anything about this battle, so I can reply to that.
Kratos is known to have come out of the battle alive. He's considered currently the strongest adept on the planets. Kratos has said little about this battle, as have many adepts. As far as your history is concerned, Kratos has never remarked on meeting Strider in combat, although he has confirmed that Strider is dead.
About Stringer.
You are not audible, Mr. Huan. What about Stringer?
Oh, you think Stringer? Were you talking about Stringer or Strider?
Right.
Strider.
That's the depth that we're looking for, right? Maybe I have their names wrong.
Stringer is the assassin. Strider is his father.
And who is the current, in this memory, the current leader of the Shadow clans.
Right.
So wait, the assassin guy is the strongest one,
Nope.
or is his dad?
Strider is considered the Shadow Clan leader currently.
Oh, okay.
This was almost 100 cycles ago, though. So nowadays, Stringer is considered the strongest Shadow Clansman.
Okay.
And is was the strongest adept you just mentioned?
Kratos is the current, has been known to be the strongest Toss clan leader and the strongest leader among all of the adept clans in either planet. And he has been considered, and he's held that title for over 100 cycles now since the Celestial Wars.
And he's still alive, right?
Correct.
Okay.
But he doesn't speak about what happened in this battle.
That's correct.
He either must have done something shifty or he's ashamed that he didn't do enough.
Womp, womp,
You want to go
womp.
tell him that?
No, I don't want to tell him that. I just want to see what happened, maybe.
We're in the past,
Yeah.
technically.
Yeah. So
We don't want to talk about the future. They'd probably freak out and think we're crazy and magical and kill us.
no. Yeah. What I meant by that is maybe witness the shame or the whatever for ourselves to see what
That's
happened.
correct.
Why if Kratos did something shifty or if he's did something shameful.
And maybe failed.
Fail, yeah.
Key sequence.
So I think a good idea was to get to Kratos. I have trouble saying it. I keep wanting to say Kratos. Kratos and I don't know. What do you guys think of that idea?
Well, you can answer Mr. Adept Friend. He asked, will Strider take the fight to Kratos?
I don't think so. I think he's going to hold the capital as long as possible.
No.
No?
That would
Well,
be
no, yeah, that's true. They just don't want to hear that.
right. So they're asking, will Strider take the fight to Kratos? Logically and strategically, that's a no. It's fucking stupid. But they would like to hear. I'm sure that's what he's gonna do. As if a one-on-one battle would solve a war.
Right.
It'd be cool if you could do that.
Yeah.
Instead of a fucking whole war, you just put up your best fighter and their best fighter, and it's a melee with handheld weapons, and whoever wins that argument.
Well, for the Adepts, that's not inconceivable. It's just that this particular fight, this genocide, is unprecedented in Adept history.
Yeah.
Also, Strider would get wrecked by Kratos.
Yeah. But anyway, we would, we'll reply with, I'm sure he will if he's able.
He's got a plan. I'm sure he's got a plan.
Kratos, Crotchos as we call him.
Yeah.
He smells like a crotch, and Strider will stride right over his dead corpse.
Great success.
But of course, Kratos will just hide behind his lines and legions of adept. But when Strider
Goons.
takes them out, then he'll have no one to hide behind anymore.
No more goons to protect him.
Goons.
Goons.
Speaking of which, I want to see that fight, so I think we should proceed, meet up with Genshade, and if we're losing the land on top, then we have really no choice but to hold our last bastion, which is the square. That should be the move. Is everybody should be making a tactical withdrawal back to the square. We will hold, or we will die.
You would know that the substreets are connected to the square, so you can use it as a route to get there. Additionally, though, if the substreets are also lost, it provides another area with which to surround the square.
Let's route the substreets, make our way to the square. The depths.
Say what now?
So, substreets with Jinshay, make our way to the square. That's the best bet. Give a retreat for the Shadow Depths.
So did you want to go to Genshade or the exit to the square?
I guess we don't know where Genshade is exactly, right?
These guys can take you to them.
Oh, but he is not at the square. So Genshade is holding up passages.
Right. Yeah, he stopped being the encroachment
can't get in the back door, basically.
right.
Yeah, he's kind of in the tunnels with us, is what I gathered.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Okay, so that's probably going to be the fiercer battle, the Gen Shade battle. So maybe, and I really hate doing this, but maybe we should split up the group, all three of us.
I'll go with Jinshay.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say maybe we could send him with the strong guys, since I think he could hold his own. But I think me and you and the other adepts are gonna need each other. Chronos.
Because, yeah, like, we also got to be careful about our magic usage. If we're using weird shit, they're going to, like, look at us and be like, what the fuck was that? Because swords are cool, because, you know, we're Shadow Adept. But if all of a sudden you just
Collapse a person.
bust out some crazy Magian magic, they might look at you and go, who the fuck are you?
So, adept lore-wise, you would know that the higher echelon, particularly in this battle, would be using things like procured treasures. That would include things like magic scrolls taken from Magians. So you could always ascribe any magical talent you have to a scroll you're using if you wanted to.
Okay. That would make sense with that super powerful magic you got.
Because it would more be like a last resort. Because it's a scroll, you only get one use of it. But
Right.
the dire situation.
Could I make it look like a scroll, even though or is it just gonna look like normal magic coming out of my hands?
The adepts will likely not be able to tell the difference.
Okay.
Yeah, because this is basically immediately after the Celeste. This is 100 cycles ago. The adepts are hardly magic literate.
Alright, so this is a supposition, but I'm guessing what generally happens, since Stryker, he's the past leader
Yeah, Strider,
of the
right?
Shadow Adept.
Yeah,
Or was it Strider?
yeah, Strider. I don't know why I said Striker.
Okay, Strider.
Yeah,
Strider. Okay, so and he's at the square, as far as we know.
yeah.
So and Jin Shade's over here, holding off the side. So
Somewhere in the tunnels, right?
and we know for a fact that Jin Shade lives, and we know for a fact that Strider doesn't.
Right.
So I'm guessing the square gets overrun. Jin Shade holds his line, but then gets overrun and has to escape because, like, there's nothing to hold anymore because I got overrun. He's like, "Fuck!" Probably takes a handful of dudes with him, and then they go hide out in the mountains. And that's where they've been ever since. So, being that we know that, maybe we should go to the square.
Yeah, I don't know what much more information we're gonna get out of Gen Shade. Well,
Because Jin Shade can just tell us what he remembers.
Right. So here's the thing: you can come into the city at any point during the campaign. So the reason why it's not clear is because if you hadn't met Genshade yet thus far, it would make a lot of sense in this context to go see him right now.
Right, okay.
You can come into this city at any point. You just happen to met Genshade already.
Yeah.
So if you meet him now, it is kind of redundant unless you want to know what happens to him lore-wise.
But I think
Okay.
square makes more sense then.
yeah.
Okay. Hooray for
That way
supposition.
we don't have to split up the group either.
Yeah. Alright.
All right.
We're gonna reinforce the square.
All right. Some of the adepts carry what do you call it? Scout out as you make a progress towards the entrance to the square.
Oh, okay. They're up a few hundred meters.
Oh no,
Something
they're just scanning the streets to make sure you're not going to be ambushed on your way there.
Oh, gotcha.
Anyway, you're able to safely make passage up to the streets. Good luck to you, Shadow, says the guys as you leave.
I give him the Shadow Atusi return gesture.
You come into the square. The edge of the square is ripe with battle and holds the heart of the fighting with all the strong energy signatures, but it is difficult to keep track of them due to their speeds. One thing, however, is immediately and unmistakably discernible. You all sense the power of ether being utilized, which few outside even the most senior of the elite guard and Ark himself have been known to channel reliably, and is evidently a well-kept secret among the adept clans. So Kratos' energy signature is very likely to be among those ether users.
Oh.
And just technically us.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys are channeling ether, but yeah.
I'm pretty sure I have to be channeling ether above 60 spirit, so and my spirit at normal is 75, so I'm pretty sure I'm channeling ether.
What?
Otherwise, I'm at 60 spirit,
Okay.
right? Because that's
You
where the ether cutoff is.
I have no idea, man. You tell me.
I don't know. I'll check the document.
Blah blah blah. All right, as you come up, the one of the adepts sees you. News from the streets.
He asked us that.
Yeah.
Jen Shade is holding the line back there. We've brought a few adepts with us to the square. How's it going over here?
Take pride, brethren. Zortos has been defeated in battle.
Awesome.
However, Pale Shade and Face Shade are dead.
Who's dead?
Pale Shade and Face Shade.
Oh, damn.
I'm sure they fought beautifully.
Strider wishes us anyone descending back into the substreets to withhold that information from Jen Shade.
So don't tell Jen Shade.
Right.
Okay.
Alright. The secret safe with us. For now.
Boom, boom, boom.
As a troll, I want to release a white death knight in the middle of the battle up in the sky.
Okay. Well, no one knows what the fuck it is, and they can't sense Necroforce, so they're gonna ignore his ass.
Because they get fucked up by him.
No. You spot a rallying group of shadow adepts standing amidst the central plaza with crossblades in hand and what is clearly a ritualistic spell of some kind being performed by a group of 5.
Do an arcane lore check on that.
What is your arcane lore?
5.
You recognize this clearly as an arcane ritual immediately. Upon closer inspection, you notice further that it is a void god ritual. Further still, you recognize, shortly thereafter, the man in the center, wielding the Staff of the Void.
Oh. You have that, don't you?
Mm-hmm. This is where, can I deduce this is where they're sacrificing the city right now?
I don't know.
I'm going to deduce that, and spiritual telepathy, I'm going to say that to my commander, and...
Has that actually been established? That you know the city gets sacrificed?
Well, I think at this point, the memory, now seeing what they're doing, I can piece that together with my lore than talking with Jen Shea.
Okay.
I mean, we know that the entire island has been sacrificed, so the city with.
Yeah, this could be the start of the island. You know, first the city, next the island,
And then they do a thing.
next the world.
What is your adept lore, everyone?
Mine is
a 4.
5.
There is no 5, sir.
Yeah, there's no 5.
That's a 4.
4. It's 4 all around. We're the loriest of lori adepts.
Aha. So the reason you want to keep track of it above a 4 is because some lore checks will have penalties. So and that's when your 5 will come into play, but it never goes above a 4. Okie dokie. So if it's a 4, you can just say max. Blah, blah, blah. You recognize the center in the group of 5 in the middle of the ritualistic spell as Strider. This puzzles you, as you have not been made aware of any particular magics the adept have been known to employ. Eager to see what techniques the Shadow Adepts have hidden away for extreme engagements, you soon realize that the magic is not mana-based at all, as their mana signatures are growing dim.
It's arcane-based.
Correct.
So sucking
Making
their mana off, right?
What about their mana?
So it's like sucking their mana away.
Yeah, they're basically it's becoming faded, as if disappearing, or
Drain.
completely. Right.
Better word.
So they, as a part of this ritual, they have to give their lives for it as well.
Are you asking that as a lore question?
Yes.
That entirely depends on what the bargaining is. The arcane are always the amount you have to sacrifice in any arcane spell scales with what you're asking for. So you don't know what he's asking for right now.
And who you're dealing with and how many times you've dealt with them before.
Is he casting it? Does it seem to be like at his own people, us, or?
Since there's no mana involved in arcane spells, you can't track things like targets.
So we don't know who he's targeting.
You know it's involved with the ritual of the void, specifically related to the Leviathan, since he's using that staff.
Okay.
So whatever he's asking for, it's pretty high stakes.
Okay, well, if they're losing ground on the surface, then he's like, can you help us win this battle? And yes, you can have whatever you want.
The island is the price.
The island and everything on it is the price, although he just said the island, and it's, you weren't specific, but...
Wow.
I mean, but you can always leave the island.
You can always parry.
Do barrel.
Yeah.
Okay, so he is doing a deal to win.
The central building lies just behind him. Of course, there's a group of adepts listening in as he continues to speak and in the middle of casting this ritual spell of 5.
Should I?
Well, you can't stop him because it's a memory. It's gonna. It already happened. We're here to find out why, what, how, when.
Was that a question? I'm sorry?
No.
Go. So I don't think we want to interfere with it.
Okay.
But like, who could we ask? Like, we could ask maybe some of the surrounding adepts. Hey, what's the commander doing, or whatever his title is? General. What's the general doing, or Buck Rogers?
Oh, that guy that just came to us and gave us the update.
Because if we're Shadow Adept, we should have a little bit of knowledge about the Void. I mean, we're Shadow Adept, whatever, we're probably Shadow phasing, that sort of stuff. And we're seeing this go on. I guess we could come in and, like, report to one of them, like, hey, Jinshade's holding the line. How's it looking here? Whoa, what's Strider doing? What do you think?
I think that's a brilliant idea.
I don't know how brilliant it is. Maybe it's a crappy idea, but that's all I got.
Aha. So yeah, are you still looking for Stringer? Do you know what you're here for?
No. we're just looking. We're looking around to see what we learn, I guess.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
just looking to see.
Well, he's currently speaking right now, so you can choose to listen in, or you can go past him to the city or the square or whatever.
Stringer is, or Strider is.
Strider is currently speaking, yeah.
But he's doing the like incantation or whatever, right? Or is he speaking to somebody?
And he's speaking to the whole group, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Plaza.
Oh, I guess I want to know what the hell he's saying.
Let me see if there's a.
Yeah, let's listen to see what he's saying.
Thought I had a thing.
Can you see what I'm saying?
Shucks bucks.
What would be a good imbue entropy spell effect? I mean,
What about it?
would be a good effect for imbue entropy.
Oh, I don't know. Cold, hot. You could probably, well, no, because that's somebody's aura. But you could do it to like structures. You could, if you're imbuing empathy or enthalpy.
Yeah, enthalpy would be the total energy of a closed system here. So things like the magnetic field strength in a certain region, you could change that. But yeah, temperature in general.
Well, light.
That's probably a different spell category, but so you could affect light as far as scrambling it, but as far as doing something coordinated with it, probably not.
If I just want to like make everything black, like empty of light.
Empty out the light would probably require imbue magnetism or something like that, if that's a spell.
Or gravity.
I don't know what school is this in, or what spell or magic.
Just transmogrification or ghosting.
Oh, okay, yeah. So yeah, ghosting involves fucking with other stuff. So if there's a light source and you use imbue enthalpy, you can probably fuck it up. Yeah.
Very cool.
You can't spontaneously create light because that's not what magic ghosting does. But you can fuck with currently existing light. Okie dokie. Yeah, I thought I had a section with that in it, but I can't find it right now. Anyway.
The speech that he's making.
The brother world has broken celestial wishes and shed a dead blood on the sister soil. We can no longer live amongst our kin as equals and are fighting for our right to our homeland. Those of you who have stayed with me, I do this final favor in your honor. I've given everything for the clan. Every ounce of effort and punishment I have endured with you serves as a testament to the God of the Void, who singularly has continued to offer its grace in recognition of our valor. Every shadow you cast is priceless to me, and my son has ensured that this soil-born crime will echo that sacrifice in Casitos itself. Today, we need only do our part, a cause which I gladly surrender my flesh, and the flesh of those who are greater still amongst us, and join me now. For Shaidil. The ritual then comes to a climax, as the bodies of the individuals melt away and darken as if dissolved by shadow before you, and sinking into the ground along with the face staff held by the speaker. Then, as if in perfect alignment, the sun begins to darken sharply while the shadows of the ritualists begin to fade off. The apocalyptic night soon engulfs the battlefield with alarming speed as the eclipsed sun begins to take on surreal behavior. There is an abrupt, disturbing movement within the black mass that is almost animalistic. It contorts and wiggles about in the sky erratically, with breathtaking intervals of arresting speed before stopping completely in a violent burst, unleashing a fountain of blackness that pours from the sun into the narrow funnel of increasing width. Quickly resembles the tower which you've seen before entering the city. The fighting all but ceases as the combatants all bear witness to this ungodly event in shared, speechless silence. Attacks wane and guards are lowered as the movement dies. Finally, the dark funnel reaches the ground in the distance, and a top-heavy tower takes root, only to give notice to another horror from the earth. A deep shadow begins to creep along the countryside, racing to the city. as the intruders slowly realize the incoming horror, and their innate animalistic sense of horror awakens. And suddenly it seems the gift of the gods in the prowess of their owned mana carries with them a sense of betrayal as this lurking catastrophe approaches, and the unmoved Shadow Depths can only look upon them in pity, knowing full well what manner of weapon has just been used.
Leviathan?
Correct.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, dang.
In a panic, the brother clans begin to come together as the shadow begins to take shape at the mouth of the great Leviathan, and begins to immediately attack the groups of adepts, friend and foe alike. Futile attempts are made against the shadowy visage at first as it ravages the clans in the air. The taller buildings of the adept capital explode almost all together at once and begin to hail down the rubble all across the lands. The sky spews burning black shadow about, and you begin to feel the dramatic effects of this shadow as the mass begins to shift towards the Leviathan, almost to draw you in.
We see the Leviathan, like, the person.
You can see basically a silhouette of the Leviathan. It's mostly a black mass at the moment. What is
Okay.
everybody's powers?
I'm sporting a 3.
Okay.
Three.
6.
Okay.
I'm at 5.
All right. Make a power save, Mr. Sadi and Mr. Ulta.
I don't think I feel like it. I think I've made it.
No.
I agree. He makes it.
Okay. Power save, so it's a D6 plus my power.
Yeah.
Okay. 1 second. 1d6 plus 3.
Oh.
Did I do that right? Yeah.
Yeah, D6 plus your power.
Are there any possible bonuses?
Do you have any gravity resistant training?
Oh.
Um,
You know what? I might. Is it this guy or is that the Saya I made? That's core.
body enhancement training? No.
Yeah. Gravity training, yeah. Did you train in the hyperbolic time chamber?
Yeah.
Well, okay.
You didn't know?
No.
No, I don't. So yeah, no bonuses.
Okay, you begin to lose ground to the shadow. You may make any additional attempts to save yourself.
Like I'm being pushed or pulled.
You are being pulled rapidly into the clutches of the Leviathan.
Can I go to full power?
Yes.
Could
You
I?
can also shadow phase.
What's
Keep
that?
in mind. You can also shadow phase. Keep that in mind. If you are in the void, God, what am I do, Dad?
I am not. So I'm just.
I cannot shadow phase. My full power goes to 4. Endurance,
Okay.
speed, flight. I don't know. That counts.
Oh yeah. Does speed or flight make any effect?
No, not against gravity.
Does that make sense? It basically disables flight
Right.
unless you can make the power
Can I
check.
cast my transmute dimensional towards the hole.
Yeah. I mean, it's a giant. It's enormous. Yeah, but if you want to unleash the dimensional thing, there's no guarantee that's going to solve the gravity problem.
Yeah. Do anything.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna cast my spell and go to full power. And that's gonna put my power to 5. And I
Okay.
did verify the spirit energy thing. If the bold is the place where you need ether,
Yeah.
then I'm good until I'm at 105. And then if I'm using spirit and I'm using 105, then I have to be using ether.
Great success.
But I'm nowhere near that, so I guess I got that going for me. Okay, so it's the same check and only I get a +5?
Yes.
Okay.
Great
Okay.
success. You resist the influence.
So, can I re-roll with the power of 4?
Yeah, go for it.
I don't know if I have anything else.
How much money?
All right, you're good. You also resist the powerful effects.
Okay, so that's happening. Oh, I need to oh, because I already did that. So next turn I will need to I need to apply 20 mana is the upkeep for this.
Mana?
Yeah. Yeah. I now have a free orifice as well. Okay, so we're witnessing this shadow leviathan.
That's correct.
And it's like consuming things and people, or just people right now?
Yeah, pretty much everything, yeah.
Buildings, people.
Right. Anything that falls into its maw.
Can we still, wait, was Strider one of the people that melted? Or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's dead.
He's dead.
What a bitch.
Strider. he was insta. He's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be the right hand of this godly thing. He's like, no, you're just gonna get.
Yeah, he was part of the sacrifice to summon it.
But he didn't even know what he was summoning. Not really.
I guess not.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so it's eating everyone and everything.
Uh-huh.
So we're like, okay, so we don't even know exactly what the deal was, but I guess it was send us something to defeat our enemies, and he wasn't specific.
Yep.
And the Void God went, well, what are you giving me? Well, I'll give you anything you want. The whole island. Okay, yeah, sure. And so he set his Leviathan loose to consume the entire island. I don't know why it's not still consuming the island right now. Somebody must have found a counter.
Well, his remarks were that his son is ensured that the soil-born crime will echo the sacrifice of the Shadow Depths in Caecilios itself. So clearly his son, Stringer, is up to something still.
Yeah.
So we gotta find Stringer in all this mess.
Find out that, and again, I think we can like leave and then come back into a different section and learn something else somewhere else. I don't know, but yeah. So what do we do now? Do we try to look?
The building is just behind them.
Say that again.
The Capitol building is just behind him in the center of the square.
Oh, maybe we should go check that place out.
All right. Yeah, let's go.
Quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Boop, boop, boop.
We'll stay out here a little bit and continue to witness this.
Okie dokie.
Just
Can I get away?
You head inside this Capitol building, which is, we call it, notable in that it has combined many of the adept and Magian crafting tropes, and serves as a sort of symbol for their joint venture into this third era of magic, as it were. Now, of course, now the exterior garnishes to the building are now being ruined by the impact of the Leviathan. However, coming in here, you sense a series of 4 mana signatures above in the second level.
second.
Memento.
Are they ether ones?
No, they are very, very weak, actually.
Oh.
As if suppressed.
Oh.
Well, we're definitely not suppressed, so no point in going suppressed. And I don't think I want to anyway, because just in case.
We're
Uh-huh.
raging right now.
So that's either Shadow Adept, civilians, or civilians or family, probably family since it's Capitol building, or
It was me.
it's regular Adept that are doing a sneako attack.
Sneaky.
But I guess we should check it out.
Hold on, I'm looking for one thing in the text. I think I may have misplaced this. Blah, blah, blah. You go up to the steps, and you see none other than Stringer and Strylock with two Magians side by side. There seems to be an altar prepared with the symbol of the Void God in the form of the Stry, yet again.
Okay, so there's 4 dudes, like shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah, there's two Adept in front with two Magians behind them.
Okay, so like a 4-pack.
Right.
Okay, like a square, but the 2 Adept are in front. Okay. And they're before an altar,
Correct. Altar to the Void.
and they're doing a ritual of some kind.
Perhaps.
I've spellcraft, magecraft 3 lore.
I'll take a.
The
Sorry. Go ahead.
oh there is no mana being cast here,
Okay.
so it's not likely to be a mana-based magic of any kind.
I'll take like a picture message and send it to to Shinna
Okie dokie.
and let him know what's going on up here.
You receive an image via telepathic synchronization, Mr. Shinon.
I interrupt that message and replace it with a picture of my junk.
No.
Oh, no.
All right. Do you wish to receive the incoming transmission?
Yes.
Well, you got a whole bunch of junk in your face then.
Junk mail.
Piebald.
Alright,
You see
There's
the
one.
altar,
You're
which looks like a mirrors that you've seen in the initial chamber you were in, where you were inducted into the Void God. Back in the tower.
I recognize the 2 adepts. Do I recognize the Magians?
All of you make a. Or what is your Magian lore?
Hold on.
3.
The tree.
You recognize the clan of the Magian markings to be that of a old guard house. Although, which one in particular you fail to distinguish? Does anybody have above a 3?
I have a 4.
You have a 3 and 4 in Magian lore?
Yeah.
Let me see. You notice that the house belongs to, I believe it's the Silverbloods. I could be wrong about that. Either way, it is a house that is currently one of the foremost powers within the old Capitol Senate. And for reference, so everybody understands, Dark Magi is currently a dual state. The planet has 2 governments, one of which is basically occupied by the other. Dark Magi is the original Magi. New Magi resulted as was the planet basically divided up as a result of these celestial wars. This was brought about through the proliferation, or the controversy was the proliferation of magical technology throughout the races and so forth. The Magians, New Magi, won out in the Civil War and were more on the liberal side of things. I'm sorry, in the more conservative side of things. They didn't want to be practicing openly things like demonic, alchemical, and basically all of the forbidden magics. Whereas the Dark Magians completely disagreed and wanted basically full reign and blah blah blah. Anyway, so Dark Magi is considered the old capital, and they have limited powers at this moment, but still have an internal government and participate in the Magian Senate as with representatives. Let's see.
I relay what I know back to them.
Okie dokie.
Oh, it's very interesting.
Cool.
Oh.
So this is they're being inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it's not clear why these Magians are here. This is, as far as you know, completely new information. There's thus far not been any connection between Dark Magi and the Shadow Adepts until you got here.
Interesting.
So what should
Are they
we do?
saying anything? Can you guys hear?
Did they spot us?
I'm actually still looking for this. I know we had it the first time, but I cannot for the life of me find where the fuck it was.
Oh, their dialogue?
Yeah, in the document. Yeah, I don't. Maybe it didn't get saved. It's in a different place. I have no idea where it went. Um, yeah, I'll have to get back to you on that. But all you need to know for now is that this is they're communicating directly with the Void God. They're not talking to the Leviathan at all. And this is where the power of this memory is being set forth, so that the island forever remembers what happened here.
Okay.
Strylock then steps forth into the void and parts ways with Stringer, with the Void God. As this is happening, Shinnah bears witness as a miracle occurs and a powerful surge of white light erupts from the middle of the shadow as part of the capital becomes lifted up in a gigantic mound. There he sees powerful earth familiars, likely from some of the powerful animists accompanying the brother invaders. They begin to lift up the now hollowed ground of the western side of the capital to block out the shadow from the now eclipsed sun and Leviathan shadow that has attacked the city. The buildings are marred, of course, but eventually the shadow is kept at bay from the uplifting of this shadow, and survivors are gathered. However, soon thereafter, unless there's anything left you wish to do in the memory, and again, apologies for not having the exact dialogue for this, but if there's anything else you wish to do with the memory, you should do so now. We can do a retroactive thing once I have that dialogue tree back. I'm not really sure where I put it.
So we witnessed the Leviathan changing the course of the battle. Then I just saw a miracle go off. Pushed the Leviathan back. We saw another witness the sacrifice of the island via Stringer. So
I think we got
And
all
again,
good.
Strylock was one of the adepts you should have seen in the memories back in the tower, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think we met him in the future.
I don't know that we met Strylock, but we got his little fucker.
Oh yeah, Genshade.
We got his little kid, and then we took
Oh,
the
yeah.
kid to Genshade, or somebody took him to Genshade.
Someone freaking kicked his ass.
No, punched him.
Do I know via Warcraft lore? Do I know if any Celestials died during this battle?
Negative.
Again, a Celestial doesn't have to use its miracle. It could be a mentalist.
A mentalist? I'm sorry, an elementalist. Yes, very good. What is your celestial lore?
3.
Yes, so you would have known that Rhyhawk and Omni-Rain, who both participated in the battle, were talented elementalists.
Yeah.
Omni-Rain is both a water and earth elementalist.
Oh, you can
And
do dual things?
That's correct.
Rain and what was the other guy?
Omni-Rain and Rhyhawk are both elementalists. Oh yeah, Shina also felt Irehawk's mana signature disappear completely after the Leviathan attacked.
he was consumed.
Irehawk.
That's correct.
So we know city was given to the void, and that was thwarted. Regardless, it's still going to get consumed because the island's going to get consumed. I think we learned everything we needed to.
Yep. The only thing I kind of wanted to get extra information from was to find Kratos, but I guess that's just, you know, I don't think we're gonna do that. So, yeah, I guess we're good.
Yeah, and when we go back, you can retroactively look for events where any of the combatants are fighting. Right now, there's no scripted encounter with Kratos anywhere. Well, we can definitely put one in, and I definitely intend to in the future.
All right.
So off to Jinsei now. Talk to him. Or
Yeah, the memory subsides and everybody finds themselves in the city square. I'm sorry, not in the city square, in the Capitol building where the ritual took place. You're outside the memory now in the dilapidated building.
Do we see any signs left over from the ritual that took place?
Just the altar to the void god. And once again, the stride with an eye on it.
Is there anything? Can we search this area around the thing? See if we find anything.
I tend to think there was something, but again, I don't know where that dialogue tree went to.
All right, no worries.
I kind of remember there being something. I think maybe you do too, because like I have no idea where it could have gone. Windows has all these weird things with their documents. Like there's recovered data, there's compatibility, there's auto recover, but like I wish it was just fucking save the document.
Might be time to migrate to something else.
Yeah, like I don't know what happened to it. It's probably supposed to be, but I don't have it at the moment.
So we can just put something in. We all gain 50 energy and everything.
Oh yeah?
Except the guy who suggested it, he loses 50 energy and everything.
No.
What are you talking about? I was being nice and trying to help you guys.
Yeah, I know. Thanks for the sacrifice. Appreciate you. What a guy.
What a bro.
You really took one for the team. Appreciate you.
What you do, bro?
I will remember you. I will
GG.
remember you.
You also get herpes too.
Oh no!
Worth 50 energy. I'll take it. I'll take the herpes. It's fine.
Gotta be
Long
some
with herpes.
If you
At least
are-
it can't kill you. They won't go away, but at least it can't kill you.
I guess guess there's the upside to everything, right?
So that pretty much concludes the the adept side of the campaign. There's extra stuff to do on the island, but as far as your mission objective, you have investigated the lead with Stringer and have established a connection to a particular house of dark magi.
Fucking dark magians. What's the fucking dark magians?
So it was good that we went into this room. Glad we found it.
Is anything in here called the Great Chamber?
No, that's in the
That's a different section.
right.
Yeah, okay. I was just trying to scan through and try to find that dialogue. I'm not like looking ahead, but okay, so that's not it. Oh, that said capital.
Yeah, I'm looking at it too. Leviathan's thing. Pretty sure there's nothing about it. Yeah, I'll sort it out. Sorry, guys.
It's all gravy.
You guys want to finish everything on the island, or what do you guys want to do now?
Well, we still haven't found anything about Stringer yet. We know that he's at least been here. He was part of this memory. And
After this memory, he went to the void. Oh, that was his father.
Yeah, it was his father.
Yeah, his father.
So so he's been sacrificed to the void. So Stringer, based on your encounter with basically everything that transpired in the tower, Stringer is likely walking the void freely. So he can use the tower as refuge on some unknown floor. There's basically, unless you're willing to storm the void, there's no way to fish him out.
I wonder if we can bait him out.
How good are you at baiting?
I'm the master baiter.
No!
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty good. How
You practically invented it, dude.
how long or short, so to speak, was your training?
I don't know. I don't remember. It's been so long.
Is that what your professor told you?
No.
That's where I gathered my training.
Great success.
Alright, I think, would be a good spot to go maybe back to the tower if we wanted to find out any leads on Stringer, but what other things in the island what could we do?
Let me see here. There's the ocean part, which you guys have not done. And then there is one secret that has not been touched.
Oh, we can still meet up with that dude that wants to can fix your guys' memories from the.
Oh yeah, there's that guy as well.
What now?
The animist.
From the void reavers.
Your personality things?
Oh yeah.
Off to Jinche then.
Oh, the additional personalities.
Right.
Oh, he can help you deal with them.
Yeah.
Let's see. I have 3. Is there a way that he could like possibly choose which one, or is it just like
He's only going to be able to affect the one given to you by the Shadowmancer.
The Shadowmancer. Okay. Okay.
Opie Stompy. Alright, so you're going to go back to Genshade then?
Let's do that.
Alright.
Alright, there, you're back in the abandoned town? No. Where is that shit? Oh, right. Yeah. The storms are still off in the distance surrounding the island. The looming tower of darkness is still visible from here. You sense the shadow depths as you approach. As if expecting you, you're welcome into Genshade's chambers. He looks upon you, waiting for blank.
Waiting for Blink.
Master Jinshay. How's the child doing?
There, he says, as he smokes a pipe.
Good. Witnessed the memory. Great sorrow. But
Ah, so you've seen it then, in all of its violence.
Yet, cost, I still was the or the price worth the cost. The damnation of this adept people of this clan.
Our people remain strong in the tower. The void will not abandon us the way that brother clans have. You see this as a sacrifice. However, I'd give our land to the Void God before surrendering it to the Brother World.
And the void still owed the city, still owed the island.
Indeed.
Well, eventually, the depths here. Would you guys eventually move to the tower then? Live in the void.
Isn't the famous saying, the void is greedy? Aren't you afraid it'll take more than it's owed?
We run that risk anywhere we may traverse. We are exiles, like the lost clans before us.
But at least without the void god, you had a fighting chance. Fighting chance and a chance to leave your memories and marks and legacy forever.
We lost that fight, Magian. You were there, weren't you?
Called you Imagine.
They call me Magic.
He called you Imagine. You didn't let him get away with that?
Dirty Imagine.
Filthy Imagine. Disgusting old Imagine. I thought I smelled Imagine.
Yeah.
You gonna let him? You gonna let him talk like that to you? You gonna let him call you Imagine?
Yeah.
Well, see here, Mister.
Mister, your mom was Imagine.
His real name is Genitals.
Over.
Excuse me here, Mr. Genital Warts.
Ah! Only my mother calls me that.
Okay, gentle warts.
guess I am just gonna let him tell me that.
You should find him. You're on it.
Took, left me
No,
speechless.
Magians. You smell like a Magian. You're the one that was standing in front of Magians. Wait, no, this is a different person, right?
Who what now?
This isn't one of the adepts that was standing with the Magians, was it?
No, that was Strylock and Stringer. Genshade was in the tunnels.
Yep. So I should say it's funny that you mentioned Magians. Have you talked to your good friend? What is it? Strylock about any Magians he's in contact with?
Strylock is gone.
Or, damn it,
That was the last day I saw him.
Strider.
Strider. Strider is what I meant.
Strider also died there. Stringer is what you're talking
Stringer.
about.
Oh, Strider.
Stringer. Yeah, Stringer, the guy that was in the.
What do you mean to ask me?
Doing a dance with some Magians, performing some kind of ritual.
I saw your friend Stringer, doing some type of ritual dance with some dark Magians, just as the chaos consumed the land.
Is true. Who is it you think told us of the void? 'Tis arcane, you see. Who better than the dark Magians to tempt the adepts with arcane power they fail to understand completely? He says that he smokes his pipe again.
It's like introducing alcohol to Native Americans.
That's fucked.
Their whole existence.
That's so fucked.
It is fucked.
Should have parried.
How do you parry an addictive substance like alcohol? Jesus.
You fucking you use you use GAD. You use Jesus Christ.
But they don't believe in Jesus Christ. They believe in like wind and the moon and stuff.
You use
Real things.
You give them the Super Bible.
Oh. Well, I can't afford that.
No.
Or the what's it called? The alcoholic version of methadone.
Yeah. Give him the Ultra Bible.
Yep.
Give him the Mega Bible like Mega Man.
Okay,
So I called him out. He admitted to the dark magie and stuff.
That's correct.
That's even.
so he wheeled and dealed with the dark magians, and you got upset because the result was dark? So, like, you went to borrow money from a loan shark, and now you're bent because you don't have the money, and you have a broken wrist now. And if you don't get the money in 2 days,
You're done. You're dead.
and you're like, this isn't fair.
Well, Genshay doesn't regret any of it. He's just more upset that he had to what do you call it?
Live in exile.
When Magi involved themselves after their civil war ended in the Celestial War, and they put an end to the Celestial War, everything the Adepts had conquered by right of warfare via the power they got from the Void God had to be surrendered, more or less.
Because the Magians were just more powerful?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
they-
Void God, asset or no, the Magians dominate. So,
But
yeah.
when the whole war was over, whatever the Adepts had conquered, the Magians came over and said, well, I understand that you conquered that, but you gotta give it back.
Yeah, that was his whole point originally, yeah. Everything they acquired via because they led the war front, basically. They were the most powerful whatchamadoodad in basically the Celestial Wars, with a few exceptions. But that was only for context. The Celestial Wars were only allowed to get as bad as it got because the Magians were never involved, and the only reason that's true is because they were caught up in the Civil War I mentioned a few minutes ago about
Mhm.
Dark Magi and Magi. Because again, Magi has supreme power compared to everybody else, but they're so preoccupied with their own shit that they can't curtail any behavior. But
So
once they
the
got
other
back,
races were fighting themselves, each other?
exactly, yeah.
Like everybody on everybody, full on melee? Or were there like Adept and Psi on one side and
So this, yeah, the Celestial Wars was basically Wild West. Everybody had a territorial claim they wanted to get, or prevent everybody else from getting because they didn't trust each other. So there was infighting all over the place because there was a huge power vacuum because Magi was nowhere to be seen.
Okay. So then they're like, well, the regulators aren't on the scene, so whoever somebody just said, I'm gonna just start taking shit.
That's exactly what happened. That's what the Arbiters started it.
I was about to say the arbiters probably said, well, I'm just
Yeah,
gonna step over here
Arbiters
for a minute.
started it, and then everybody else, even
Oh,
if they don't want to, do it, they have to take territory in order to prevent other people from maliciously taking it.
right.
Protecting their
There's
own
no
land and
Okay.
stuff.
right. So everything goes out of the wire. However, once Magic comes back, they're like, okay, everybody chill. We're gonna return everything back to the way it was, as close as we can, which was not perfectly done. And basically, the Adepts were on the losing side of that. By
And probably, 10,000 years ago, it's like, well, yeah, we lost that territory to the arbiters, but now we got it back. And you're saying, well, now we got to give it back?
Aha!
They stole it from us in the first place.
Like Turkey in World War One.
Okay, so yeah, and they made a big sacrifice to fight this war, and then all of a sudden the Magians are like, well, sorry, that's cool that you made a deal with the devil, but yeah, you shouldn't have done that, and everything's gonna go back the way it was. And the Adepts are like, well, no, they're not. And the Magians said, well, there's not really anything you can do about it. We'll just make you do it.
Precisely, yeah.
And then they said, what do you mean? And then they showed them.
More or less, they weren't that bold. The Shadow Depths eventually went along with the agreement of the clans as a whole, but they still left a, what do you call it? There was a political price to pay for that.
Yeah.
The other clans didn't enjoy it, so that's why they got exiled.
Well, because I mean, the Magians would have no problem isolating a planet, meaning they could set up a perimeter around a planet, nothing goes in, nothing goes out, and you're back to the Stone Age except for your magic. They could put that around every single adept planet and be like, what are you going to do now?
I don't know.
And they'd be like, okay, we'll give it back.
Yeah.
And then they could just teleport people off back to the planet.
Yeah, pretty much. With alchemy and magitech, you can get as creative as you want.
Yeah, and the Magians wouldn't consider violence. They would just, yeah. They would just move people and be like, well, we'll just keep moving you back. I mean, pick you up, put you back. Okay. But, yeah, I can see why they're pretty salty. Especially since there were some Magians that helped him out. But obviously those Dark Magians were probably sacrificing those foolish adept to the Void God for a lot of power.
They probably
For
also
no-
were
Like, look at these idiots. They're so vulnerable. They're losing, and all we have to do is offer them a little used up bone on a stick, and they'll eat it up.
Oh no.
Anything. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty salty, but at the same time, like, but you're not a kid. Like, what did you think was gonna happen when you dealt with people that are like known as dark? People who dealt.
Remember, at the beginning of the Celestial, they weren't considered Dark Magians.
Okay.
Because everybody was just considered a Magian back then.
Okay.
Dark Magi only exists after the Celestial Wars.
Okay, so they got involved with some Magians that could commune with the Void God.
Yeah.
And is that how they became Shadow Adept?
Yeah, yeah. The
Okay.
adepts didn't know anything about making arcane deals until it was introduced by the Dark Magians. Yeah, that's what that memory was there to point out.
So they
Right, but
basic.
before the deal where they made the deal for the island or whatever, people were already starting to make deals for like shadow phasing, or did all that happen at once?
So the Shadow clans before the Dark Magians hit the scene were just Shadow Adept animists. They weren't particularly gifted fighters.
Yeah.
Uh, the Void introduced Shadow Adept, and then that happened to coincide with the Celestial Wars and Genesis style advent with Gen Shade. So those things put them in the primacy for very talented combatants that nobody had any experience fighting against.
But was it still the Magians that turned them on to the Void God initially, as far as the
Yeah,
shadow?
I feel like I already answered. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
The Adepts have
Yeah.
no connection to the arcane
Okay.
before the Magians hit the scene.
So, can you make this clear? So, during the actual Celestial Wars, the Adepts weren't fighting the Shadow Adepts. It wasn't until the end of it, right?
Everybody was fighting everybody because they're just mercenaries.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, the Shadow Adepts made the most progress.
Okay,
Okay.
that makes sense.
In the end, greed got everyone.
So those two, they basically made a whole sub race with just that day.
Womp, 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 womp.
Okay, and then we still need to figure out what Stringer was doing, because he obviously countered it in some way, like he bought some time or something.
Um,
Because otherwise, the Leviathan should have consumed everything.
Yeah,
So
that was the miracle I witnessed. At
yeah, the
the
miracle you witnessed was not a result of the ritual that Stringer enacted.
Yeah, that was the stop it. Give everyone a chance. Yeah.
I think it's great Coinky Dink and great just self justice, the self own is that the Magians own them own their land now.
No.
Not really. They just regulate all the land.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not tyrannical about it necessarily.
Poser, poser.
Yeah.
So I'll send a mental link to both of them. Kronos and Shina. What was your guy's name? Kronos. I keep forgetting.
Ulta.
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 Um, do you think he knows we work for Magi?
Probably not. He doesn't. He wouldn't care any other way.
Calling us Magian? Okay.
So remember the guy you met in the ruins?
The
What was
ghost?
his name? What?
The ghost?
Oh,
Which ruins are we talking about?
so yeah, the ghost ruins. Yeah, yeah, not a ghost guy. The ghost ruins, right? That guy answers to the same group, uh, where the same group, basically, that your contact who gave you permission to be here. Fear Toss was the guy who initially gave you clearance to be here.
Oh.
He's in the same group as that other guy. So it's possible that he has an insider or he's learned information that Fear Toss has let Magians in Huntersville. And that guy also talks to Genshade. That's why he's here on the island. He's the solitary contact for the island, basically, and the residents.
So we're not
Does everybody know
denying
what I'm
it.
talking about? Or who I'm talking about?
Genshade.
Yeah, Genshade, but not I'm talking about the person.
Oh yeah.
Did, does anybody remember that guy?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
cool.
What was his name?
I'm trying to find it. I think he may have had a custom
Rain
name.
Was it Rain Shay?
Rain Shade? It may have been Rain Shade. Yeah, that was probably it. It's not Gremlead. Gremlead and I think Rain Shade were the guys, yeah. Yeah, Rain Shade is the contact for the island. Feartoss is his superior. Um, and he may have gotten insight that Magians are on the island. That's so, and he may have talked to Gen Shade about it. Does that thorough line make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Okay.
So not denying it isn't basically outing ourselves. It's just okay. Neither denying nor agreeing. All right.
Oh no, that was Soul at the Ruin. So no, that wasn't his name.
He seems a little cocky to us right now.
Can I spiritual telepathy Gen Shay?
You are not synchronized with him, so no.
Thought we vitalized together.
Oh, you did?
We like
Okay.
training.
Oh, yeah.
one
He trained you, right? Yeah. So you have to be. Okay. Yeah.
I asked him as I twiddle the named one initiate thing on my wrist. I'm sure you can feel lies on the outside of the finite realm.
He puts his pipe down. And the onlookers who remain unnamed.
First felt them during my fighting on Necria. This would be a waste. We'll need, well, whole finite realm will need the shadow adepts. In the coming year or cycles, it still boggles me why one of your own would upset the balance over grudge, such as killing the king of Magi.
I suppose you'll have to ask him yourself when you get the chance.
Wonder if you can set it up.
Regardless of what happens to your king, though, the galaxy will need the Shadow Adepts. This has never been elusive to me or my clan.
So now, so when the time comes, will you guys still begrudge all those? Or would you step up to save the balance and fight against the Horde?
I suppose we'll probably be as opportunistic as the clans were against us. It all depends what the future holds, and of course, whatever Magi gracefully allows, he says, smoking his pipe again.
We're talking to Gin Shade right now?
Yeah.
The real Gin Shade or the past Gin Shade?
Yeah, you're not in the memory anymore. There's no past entry.
And I think Shinna is talking to him by himself, like in each other's minds.
Right.
Oh, because we're not there.
Yet we're not listening. We can't hear him.
What are we doing? Are we on our way there?
We're there, but they're just talking to each other in
Private.
Yeah, privately.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna privately communicate to you and say we should pretend to be having a private conversation too, so we look cool.
Uh-huh.
We don't look like, man, I wish I was in that conversation. And we'll have a really boisterous one, so it looks like, man,
So
people are gonna our conversation.
I'll slap my knee and point at you and smile and be like, ha, ha, ha.
I'll look back towards Shinna and be like, totally. Definitely. And then make an elephant sound.
Kapur.
Okay.
I'll send a picture of an armadillo.
Armadillo?
Armadillo.
But then why the king? Would you guys have more of a grudge against the Dark Magian clan then? Tempted you guys into arcane dealings? Secret futures against them?
I don't think I see what you're pointing out, says Genshade. The Dark Magians never insisted that we surrender our fought territories. That is decision made by your king.
Mm.
Okay.
Nonetheless,
No, my king. I'm an adept.
but
There.
I'm a Shadowkin now myself. I look forward to fighting with you the coming desolation. To the balance. Shadow one. Thank you.
He nods.
I'll look at the captain. Next move, captain.
What was that?
Hold up your finger like, wait a minute. I gotta finish this thought here.
I'll just crop dust the room before I leave.
Ah!
Good call. Alright, so we're leaving?
Unless you guys anything else to ask, you guys have anything else to ask, Jim Shay?
Well, I mean, Stringer.
Where can we find Stringer? Any hints?
Like,
You can find.
at least find out. We need to somehow find out why Stringer did it, because we have empirical evidence that he did do it, right? We have like video that he shadow phased in, killed him, and shadow phased out.
Yeah, footage, yeah.
So we just need to know why.
Right.
Wow.
He's already answered that, though.
Yeah. Have to find him and ask him ourselves, because he doesn't know.
Stringer doesn't know.
Or Jen Shay doesn't know.
Well,
Wait,
I thought it was because they were taking land.
No, I asked him why Stringer would potentially cause another celestial war, set the balance, and why there's this imminent threat to the final. He told me that ask him yourself when you find him.
okay, well, where can we find him?
In the void.
Oh, no shit. I don't remember Jinshade saying he's in the void.
Oh, he's running from the named ones. There's unnamed ones watching him. Watching the tower. He's being hunted by much everyone.
Except Shadow Adept.
Yeah, the Shadow Depths probably wouldn't turn him in.
They'd hide him. Harbor him. So we don't know for sure that he's in the void. Right?
I mean, you can't know for sure he's anywhere.
Because nobody's told us that, right?
No.
There was alluded to that he could be in the tower, but...
I mean, he could be in the tower, he could be in the void. We did... Oh, no, you can't. I was going to say, well, we got his energy signature, but you did say we can't get any energy signatures from memories, right?
No, no. The energy signature would have been recorded in the on Magi.
Oh, Stringer's energy signature?
Yeah, so his energy signature has never been a mystery.
Okay. Well, perhaps Jinshade might be able to arrange a meeting with him.
Yeah, let's see if we can set up a meeting with Gem Shade, if that's possible.
Is it our job to apprehend Stringer?
Yeah, if
Or
you can.
to find out what happened?
Yeah, he's to be taken dead or alive. Yeah.
Huh. Well, I guess we're not done yet. We know he's been in the area within the last couple hundred years, cycles.
Well,
Maybe we could feign a meeting that a safe meeting, and then I don't know, get him that way.
Yeah, and I don't know if Jinshade is trying to bait us into admitting that we're Magians or working for Magi by saying, ask your king, you're Magian.
That's what
Whoever
I'm saying.
knows. Because, like, if you admit to it, how do you know I'm from Magi? Well, because you just told me.
it was me.
So, I don't know if he knows or if he's just trying to bait.
I think it could be a little bit of both. Maybe trying to at least get it from our mouths directly.
But until we know the jig is up, we should probably just maintain the facade.
Yeah.
So, we need to know what Stringer is, so we can talk to him. But at the same time, we can't just be like, "Hey, where's Stringer? We need to talk to him." Why? Who are you? Because we've already said who we were. We never said we're Magians. But why would we want to talk to Stringer? Or why do we need to? Why would Jinshade want to tell us? Hmm. Because I'm sure he knows where he's at. But it's like, why would he tell us? Especially if he does happen to think that we're Magians. We're working with Magians.
Yeah, I can't figure out a reason on how to ask why. Can't be that complicated, but
I guess maybe we could say something like, I know the clan is promised to the void, but you talk about how much you hate Magi. Eventually, Magi will come to Adept, to both worlds, and they will find out the truth. It's not much of a threat. It's true though.
Well,
Eventually, Magi will officially come if they can't do it unofficially. And say, well, we're gonna get to the bottom of this, because here's our footage.
are you saying that to him or no?
No, but I'm spitballing in our mental brains
Okay.
how we can get this information out of Jinshade without just straight telling him. Because I know I've said something before, like, hey, you know what? There's this thing that happened on Magi, so I want to be careful. So I guess it wouldn't be absolutely crazy to be like, yeah, if he's here, yeah, Magi's looking for him too. He's wanted for murder, and anybody that's harboring is probably going to be, I don't know, imprisoned by Magi too. Damn Magians. Yeah, I don't know.
I think that might be the best, but it could also tip him off. But I don't know.
You think no? He died.
No.
He's hella dead.
Yeah, he totally died.
Shin to the no.
I get a sword.
Oh no.
Oh, I just got your sword.
Yeah.
What happened?
I got your sword.
I got
Yeah,
your
he took
Black
the
Lantern
weapon from
too.
you.
You were AFK, and you were sitting there just T-posting, and I'm like, well, I'm taking that.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and you've been stripped bare, actually.
Yep.
Touch my penis?
No,
5
that's still
times.
only your valuables were removed.
Oh no.
So did you guys ask him?
No. I didn't ask him anything.
So what are we doing now?
We were just spitballing about how to ask him and and
As far as the Magian thing, he definitely knows you guys are Magian. You guys haven't asked him about anything other than Stringer. You didn't ask about any of the other adept leaders for the Shaded Clans. You all have Magian experience, and there's a strong possibility that Rain Shade told him that there's a possibility of Magians being on the Shatters. Like it's super obvious you guys are Magians.
Yeah, we're new. We're not from around here. We're more powerful than we lead on.
Yeah.
well, cat's out of
So
the
it's like,
bag.
I guess what? You know, even though the circumstances are what they are, Stringer's got to come to justice. I don't know if we just straight up tell him that, and you know, he's probably turned himself in, so he doesn't,
So
bring shame on the plan or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess putting like an ultimatum where it'll be messy if the whole Magi gets here and looks for him, or we could just set up a meeting. We could take him. He had no part in it. I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be loud and messy. Well, you know what happens? You throw out a bunch of ideas, and then you know how you pick the idea that you're going to go with?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. The leader makes that decision. That's why they
Ah!
pay the big bucks for being a decision maker.
You had to pull that card. Yes, you did, and it's true. Okay.
It's your card.
It is,
You're the one that said, I want to be the leader. I want to be the captain. I want to be the master and commander. I want to be the masturbator. I mean,
I remember he wouldn't shut up about saying that. Yeah.
yeah. He's like, I'm the king.
I remember I was voted.
You said King Kong ain't got shit on me.
Yeah, I remember that too. Actually.
Yeah.
Then he
Okay.
dropped the N word, and I was really put off by it.
Well, sorry.
Yeah, I don't like space Nazis either.
I have a problem with that N word. Let's see. Okay. Well, I will do the one where I say give him the ultimatum. Maybe we could set up a meeting with him because it's gonna get really messy when Magi comes, and it might not.
Oh shit!
I don't know.
Perhaps he'd be willing to turn himself in for
Yeah,
the clan.
I'm gonna. That's a pretty big statement, so I'm gonna have to require you roleplay that. Then I'm not. I can't do that.
Alright,
For you.
alright, let me see. I forgot what I just. Okay.
About
I
something
think-
like
Yeah. So I have an ultimatum for Strider then, since it seems the jig is up. Magi is gonna be coming. I think it would be beneficial to set up a meeting where we talk with him, and you know, if not, Magi will come in full force, and I would rather, you know, not any harm come to this clan, because I've come to fall in love with the place, and don't want to see the home any more destroyed than it is. So if we could set up a meeting with Strider, that would be
Stringer.
the Stringer. It'll be beneficial.
You disappoint me. Any damage that comes to this place, you must know by now, is immaterial. It has already been lost. It confounds me that Magi has chosen so poorly who to send to negotiate. What on earth makes you think I can command Stringer to appear before you? Has it not occurred to either of you that his ambitions are his own? Does he not represent himself?
Given that he's being hunted by the unnamed ones here, he's a threat against the clan himself. However, because of his attachment to this clan, it's just going to bring Magi's ire onto you guys, which you guys have.
This is what's most laughable, you fool. Let all of the world see Magi's errant ways as it encroaches on adept territory. That would be the most foolhardy of all mistakes they could make. As far as the unnamed ones, I have their guaranteed protection. They are of no concern to me.
Was the unnamed ones lore check? Would that be under, like, if I
That would be,
to,
I don't know what kind of lore check that would be, actually.
so if I wanted to say, if I wanted to see what kind of personality, if they can be trusted, their word is.
Whether or not you can believe what he just told you about the unnamed ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess Warcraft lore wouldn't hurt. And then Celestial lore. What is your Celestial lore?
They're both a 2.
They're both 2. So you wouldn't really be able to confirm or deny what the unnamed one position would be on the Shadow Depths in particular, although you would likely believe that there are probably some Shadow Depths among the unnamed ones.
The fact that we're an elite guard, would we have gotten any specific briefing on unnamed ones during training, or so we at least know who they are ish?
Yeah.
What about?
You know that they are basically a paramilitary organization that served under the Dark Lord before the Celestial Wars ended and then disappeared from all public light. And they only work sort of tangentially with powerful military groups like the Elite Guard.
Okay, so they're like a clandestine
Exactly.
group. Are they for the balance, or?
Yeah, they're not considered a threat to galactic stability.
Okay.
Their true motivations are unknown.
Okay.
Okay.
It's stated openly that their duties merely reiterate what the Dark Lord founded their organization on. Because they're so difficult to track, though, how well they are internally overseen, or upholding those virtues is undetermined.
Right. I feel like what we're missing is what was given to us in the dialogue of what Strider said. Like the last thing he said about Like Stringer will carry on the blah blah blahness or whatever. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, you made this deal to sacrifice all the adepts, but you left your son a way out.
This is correct.
So that you could continue your bloodline. Meanwhile, all the other adepts get fucked. You don't get a bloodline.
Well,
So I'm not really sacrificing anything. I mean, yeah, himself, but I mean, at least his son carries on. So, I'd like to remind him about that. So, Master Genshade, the agreement that Strider made with the Void. You are aware that it did not include his son, Stringer. While all of you sacrificed, and all of those that have already been pulled to the void, they made their sacrifice, but Stringer didn't make a sacrifice, nor did his father. He made sure his son would maintain, go on, and continue his legacy. Why didn't he do that for all the leaders' children, or for all the other children?
you've seen with your own eyes our lines continue, outsider. What you say is nonsensical.
For how long? This island is being consumed as we speak. You know this.
I know it is irrelevant, outsider. Our lines continue through our blood, not through the land.
Does that mean he's got children that are outside of Adept? Or off the Veld?
I don't know.
Because I'll ask him. So do you have progeny outside Adept?
He does not answer.
And the others as well?
If they should choose to, he says, and he smokes his pipe.
Yeah, and I don't know.
I don't know how to get him to ask.
I guess the only other response I would have to that is information I don't have. Like if I knew that the void, for instance, doesn't differentiate between this person and their great 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 grandson, like that's the same person as far as the void's concerned. Like if the void's like that, and it's like, well, nobody's saved unless you make a special deal, then it's like, no, you really actually got fucked. But then everybody might have made that special deal.
It was me.
Everybody's like, yeah, I'll sacrifice myself, but my bloodline goes on. So yeah, I don't know the nature of the deal. I guess that's what we need.
So, I mean, you have someone in the covenant with you. The only thing that is promised is the individual soul. There's nothing about his lineage that's compromised at all.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm at a loss. Because at first I thought maybe Stringer's whatever thing was a way to maybe reverse the blah blah blah, but that's not a thing.
I think
So yeah, I don't know.
I guess in character, I would talk to Alta. What is owed to the Void God is owed. It would take a higher mandate to reverse it.
Counter it.
Do you think, I'll say in character, do you think that's what Stringer was doing, carrying on his father's wishes with the Dark Magians?
Do you say that aloud?
Yes.
Taking his pipe away. Stringer and his father. Their similarities end, really, in their bloodline. Stringer was quite an ambitious man. His father was merely a clansman.
In other words, he said he had his own ambitions.
I mean, that makes sense. A father sacrificed himself to make sure his son was okay. So,
But I mean, all the children are fine because I mean, Jim just said the deal was just for a single soul, not an entire line of.
that's the island and everything on the island was offered to the void, but the void god can't take soul unless it's that person gives their soul to the void.
Right. Right. Is that true? Like I can't promise Shin-Na's soul to the void, right? Unless he agrees.
So souls can be sacrificed. Um,
Yeah, that's how they got the city.
However, that they usually they have to be sacrificed to the hell god specifically. Um, you can't promise somebody else's soul that you don't have access to on someone else's
Right.
behalf.
I can't just arbitrarily go, hey, you know what? The King of Magi, you know what? I want Void God, take his soul and give me a really powerful weapon.
Yeah.
Be like, no, you bring him to me and have him devote himself to me, and then yeah, I'll give you a super powerful weapon.
So if you kill somebody and then imprison their soul, then you can use it as an offering. But yeah, you can't assume somebody's agency, even with assimilation.
So that's the only way you could do it unwillingly is if you capture their soul.
Right.
Okay.
This is why Necrians see it as a particularly egregious offense.
These consent forms.
Okay, so I mean,
We'll have to find Stringer. I think.
Your other options rationally, if we're talking about, is that you could also you could try to apprehend Genshade. So in the game, possession is a thing.
Oh yeah.
So if you guys had access to sorcery spells, and were able to successfully mind control him, you would find out if he's lying to you about being able to set up a meeting with Stringer, or if he knows exactly where he is. That's about the only angle you're missing, I think. Other than that, you basically have the picture correct. I think we're all on the same page.
Yeah.
There's no way to move forward without taking a direct action against Genshade.
we were all having this the spiritual synchronization conversations back and forth. That's what we were doing, or are we talking out loud?
I said my thing out loud, but
Yeah.
I think you guys were
I
having.
think we're just all talking out of character right now.
No, but we were asking Jen Shade the questions. We were doing that out loud.
If you're asking him questions, then yeah, that'll be done out loud.
Yeah. You know what? I mean, well, I was like, what's the worst thing that could happen? Well, he'd fight us and kick our asses. That's what would happen.
Even if you beat him, he can usually teleport to the void because he's a
shadow phase.
It'd be particularly difficult to corner him. This is for the same reason why it's been so hard to track down Stringer.
Yeah, and just like if he even had the notion he was starting to be possessed, he'd be like, "What the fuck? I'm out of here."
Yeah.
I can't think of a reason why Genshade. And we don't know the relationship between Genshade and Stringer, right? We haven't learned that.
You know that like much of the rest of the clan, Genshade is a master of Stringer. He was a tutor.
But I mean that, so are we.
Right. So they're probably close. They're likely not enemies. He's more likely to do favors for him than sell him out.
Yeah, and do we know any specifics about Stringer's ability? Like, do we know that he's his number one, whatever?
Yeah, that is well established.
It's well established that he's his number one protege, and maybe even better.
Stringer is, a prodigy. He's far surpassed Genshade.
So yeah.
Okay, so we know for a fact he's way better than Genshade.
Yeah, so just like in the memory, I think Genshade may have been in the memory.
Yeah,
but training. Yeah, Stringer demonstrated unrivaled capacity, and this is before the heyday of the Celestial Wars.
Okay. And he trained him, yeah. So I can't think of a reason why he would want to tell us where he's at, other than he's like, you can talk to him if you want, but he's gonna slay you. It'd be kind of funny. Only 3? You should have brought 30. Then maybe it would be sporting.
What he did say is kind of a clue, though. Does anybody have more than a 2 Warcraft lore?
Oh,
Shit, Nas got a 4, I'm sure.
I got max.
Okay, well then you'd probably, the only way he can secure protection from the Unnamed One, if he's telling the truth, is that he's already a part of the Unnamed One, or he intends to join.
Oh yeah, that already made sense to me, but I guess not to. So I guess I'll relay that telepathically synchronization. Like, Jinsei has no reason to lie. He's under the protection of the Named Ones, and the Named Ones consider Stringer a threat to the finite realm. If he was harboring Stringer, the Named Ones would be enemies of Jinsei. So either Jinsei is becoming enough Named Ones
protection. He could be lying that he has the Unnamed One protection.
No, I talked to the Unnamed One.
Oh.
The fucking building.
So he does have protection from the Unnamed Ones?
And I deduced all that from lore check and...
Would it be safe to deduce that he has an idea where he is, but... probably...
Seems like he would be compelled to tell the Unnamed Ones if he knew where he was.
Yeah, the Unnamed Ones would have an interest in finding Stringer too. Even if Stringer hadn't assassinated the king, Stringer is too powerful to just be a loose cannon on the galaxy.
Yeah, because Jinsei did say he acted alone. It's his own reasoning. And yeah, you got somebody super powerful that's, can outdo one of the most powerful generals, fighters, the iteration ever had. And he just went and just handily wiped out the Magian King like it was...
nothing.
Well, like it was taking candy from
Magian baby.
from like a Scion, from like a Ryan baby.
No.
Before it had its implants.
So, what are we doing now? We go
Oh.
So yeah, we should let him know that. Well, I guess we haven't asked him. Do you know where Stringer is, or do you know where he frequents on the Veldt? Or where he used to or might frequent on the Veldt? Just ask him straight.
He used to come regularly. He has not since.
Like since the Celestial Wars, or just since the
He gives you an eyeball.
the
He gives you an eyeball.
tragic events?
Well, thanks for the eyeball, mister. I appreciate it. I put the
He's
eyeball...
giving you a funny eyeball.
Put the eyeball in my pocket.
No!
Wait, he actually gave him an eyeball?
Yeah.
Whose eyeball is it?
I
Strange?
know.
No, seriously, did he give him an eyeball, or are we talking?
Oh,
No,
Actively-
no.
giving you an eyeball because he's like, you know what he means by sense.
Oh, right. He's been around here since.
Yeah, you know what?
He would know why. He would know that he can't come around here no more. Alright, well, you don't know where else he might or have liked to go in the past?
To the
All of
boy.
his closest clansmen are gone. There is nowhere else he would visit besides this place.
What if we slip him one of those gold coins? Just kidding.
Oh, points.
The
You
gold
mean-
coins from the tower. Do you remember where he is now? Just kidding.
Oh. I
Well,
thought you
basically, he's not really going to answer that question
Yeah.
because, like, the obvious answer is the void somewhere. But that's a non-answer because it's an obvious question answer or whatever. The thing, yeah,
So we could possibly go to the tower. You guys want to go back to the tower?
there is no way to find Stringer.
Oh, there is no way to find Stringer.
The
Okay.
campaign does not include Stringer.
Okay.
Well, I thought we had to apprehend him or kill him.
Yeah,
We can't do that because we can't find him.
So
Oh. We can still have a mission, but not be able to complete it because of, yeah. But if we do everything else,
that's correct.
then we learn why, how.
Yeah, I mean, officially, your job is to investigate. If you happen to find the assailant, your job becomes bring him in dead or alive.
Right. So, we have basically found out why and how he was able to do what he did. So now we should probably do our due diligence to check where he might be. So we can pretty much guarantee right now that Jen Shade's not lying to us, and we've been to the lighthouse, the settlement by the lighthouse, the temple ruins, the big city ruins. Now,
North.
we just haven't gone to the ocean or the
fort.
special place.
We've been to the graveyard thing. We've been to the central tower, but we haven't checked out the mountains or the ocean yet. And what did you say, Sadi?
A secret place, apparently.
A secret place, the mountains, and that's a lot.
Yeah, you've
that's a lot
checked
of-
all over the mountains.
We also haven't really checked the actual. Is the port where we landed anything of significance? Because we never checked that. We just landed and then.
Oh yeah, there's nothing of interest there.
Okay. So I mean, we have a lot of coastline to check. I think we checked around the lighthouse a little bit, but there's a lot of coastline to check, and then the mountains.
Yeah, the mountains have already been thoroughly looked over.
Okay.
So I say let's go to the ocean and we can give my deep sea scale a try. I don't know.
Okie dokie.
Can we talk to that animist?
Yeah.
I could talk to the
He should be here
animals first.
somewhere. What was his name?
I forgot.
It wasn't Pyre Shade, was it? No, that was the Lost Clansman, right?
Yeah.
Forgot what this guy's name was.
I forgot his name.
Kidnapping, Shadowmancer, Shadesman. There you go.
Yep.
That's
All right. Well, we'll go ahead and continue that next time because it is now 5 o'clock over here,
No, it isn't.
and we'll do a thing.
It's not 5 o'clock over here.
Thanks for joining, everybody.
easy, guys.
Alright.
All right, later.
Later.
See you later, man.
Woohoo!